For the Cowboys fans out there this weekend, Dak is back and ready to take on the Detroit Lions. Joining me for a little preview as he does each Friday, LockedOn Cowboys podcast host, Landon McCool. All right, Landon, we got to start with Dak here. What have you seen or heard about how he's done during practice?
Well, I mean, all the reviews have been good so far. Obviously, they're all coming from teammates and coaches, so that would be positive. But it does sound like they all feel confident that he's got his grip back to a spot where he's going to be able to deliver the ball with the velocity that we're used to. It didn't sound like anybody was concerned about any, kind of lingering effects there. It seems like he was throwing a solid ball. So we're going to find out this weekend against Detroit.
We sure will. Who do you think the key players are going to be to watch in terms of the Cowboys this week?
Well, I think that it's going to be interesting to see. What we haven't seen so far this year is Michael Gallup play with Dak Prescott. And I think when Dak was playing in the week one, it was a struggle to try to get the ball down the field. And that's really where Gallup kind of thrives. So I do think I am interested to see exactly if Gallup and Dak are able to hook up because, they alternating injuries. They haven't had a ton of time to work with each other during the offseason. And I think it's going to be a key component to kind of getting the defense out of the box to allow the Cowboys to run the football a little bit better by stretching the field using Gallup.
Now, we know the Lions got an extra week to get ready for Dallas coming off their bye week. So what should we expect from that team?
I definitely would not look at the record and think that this is going to be a cakewalk game. The Lions have a very good offense, and they've been able to put up points against a lot of different teams. Against the Patriots, it was kind of a struggle, but previous to that, they were putting up 30-plus points. They were able to throw the ball. They have a very solid run game and a very solid offensive line. So I think on that front, the Cowboys defense has a nice challenge. On the other side of the ball, it's not quite as good for the Lions. They have statistically one of the worst ranked defenses in the league. So this really is a kind of perfect game for Dak to be coming back and trying to get back into the rhythm of things. He's not having to go into the teeth of the most dangerous defense in the league or anything. It's going to be hopefully a nice kind of slow curve back into getting back into the swing of things.
Yeah, okay, so that might be true. Good game for Dak to come back. But the Lions are also getting a few key players back, right?
Yeah, DeAndre Swift looks like he will be playing this weekend, which is, he's one of their key running backs. They have a similar kind of two-headed running attack that the Cowboys do between him and Jamal Williams. And they have a very strong offensive line. So I think the key thing for the Cowboys in general is they got to find a way to stop that running game. Philadelphia, ran the ball a lot against them, maybe not a great yards per average clip, but they were able to get a lot of yardage. And if Detroit can keep the game balanced where they can run the ball and pass the ball throughout the game, they can hang around a little bit, and that can make things difficult for the Cowboys.
Okay, so Lions head coach Dan Campbell, actually a pretty familiar face around here, playing in Glen Rose, even for the Cowboys for a bit.
That's right.
This is his first time to face Dallas as a head coach.
Yeah, I love Dan Campbell, big fan. Just great attitude, and it's really assembled a team of coaches up there that has really gotten a lot out of that team. Detroit's been a spot that has had a lot of obviously problems throughout the years. They haven't had a lot of success. I really enjoy the kind of culture change that he's made there. He's hired mostly former players as his coaches, and I think that he's done a fantastic job so far with the Lions.
All right, my friend, every week I ask you this. What's your prediction for this week's score?
I think this week I'm going to pick the Cowboys. I mean, I've been picking them all these weeks. I feel confident, but I think with the Lions, I think the Cowboys will be able to stop the run against the Lions. And if they do that and they able to score points, especially with Dak back, I think they're going to put Detroit in a very difficult situation where they're going to have to throw the football more than they're comfortable doing. And then that's where the Dallas pass rush will get unleashed upon Jared Goff. So I'm going to pick the Cowboys to win, let's say 34-24. I think that it'll be a closer game than that for most of it. But I think at the end of the game, Dak will start getting into the rhythm of things, and they'll score a couple of touchdowns probably late and to pull away.
34-24. We'll circle back next week. All right, Landon, thank you. And you can check out Landon on his podcast, LockedOn Cowboys. New episodes dropping every day, wherever you download your podcasts.